As I make my way through the endless parking structure, I hope for just one spot. That's all I need. Okay, just around the corner. There has to be one. Wait, there's one. Oh no. Alright, next level. Man, it's getting hot in here. What if this entire parking structure was filled with bikes? Is this some sort of dream? Am I hallucinating or something? No, this is Amsterdam. Welcome to the bicycling capital of Europe. Located right outside the main train station in the center of downtown, the three-level parking structure offers convenient parking for hundreds of bikes. The amazing part is, these people are looking for a parking spot, just like I was in my car, only they're on their bikes. Not only is this structure full, but almost every bit of open space on a railing, by a tree, or anything nailed down has a bike lock to it. I learned that almost half of all the personal transportation in the center of Amsterdam is by bicycle, and that there are more bikes than cars. Just imagine what a difference this makes when it comes to traffic congestion, pollution, and the quality of life. No wonder everywhere I look I have to watch my step, because people really take bikes seriously here. In fact, they have their own roadways and paths, traffic signals, and they are treated like real modes of transportation. In many areas, you have more rights on foot and by bicycling than you do in a car. What a concept. As I look around, I notice that it's not just the young people tooling around on their bikes, it's everybody. I'm talking about moms taking their kids to school, dads in full suit and tie on their way to work, and grandma headed to the grocery store to buy a loaf of bread. Even the tourists have it figured out. They're out visiting museums, restaurants, and parks by renting bikes from all of the convenient rental shops. And it doesn't end when the sun goes down either. Many young people head out to enjoy the nightlife and the great restaurants on their two-wheeled machines. What better way to work off that great Dutch food and turn that extra beer into fuel? Bikes are part of a child's life from an early age. From the time they are old enough to hold on to their parents, they're out enjoying a wide open view of the world on two wheels. As the obesity rate in children climbs to nearly 40% in the United States, perhaps there is something we can learn about integrating a more active lifestyle in our kids' lives. Statistics show that the active lifestyles of the Dutch have helped to keep people more fit and obesity rates well below ours here in the US. Bicycle safety is also very important to the Dutch, and passing a bike safety test is required for everyone getting a license. These people are crazy about bikes. They have their own bicycling holiday called Fietstag, or National Bike Day. Of course, this coincides with National Windmill Day, so you're encouraged to visit all the great windmills by bicycle. But I noticed that for people who are nuts about bikes, they sure don't show them off very much. You can have any color you want, as long as it's black. Sound familiar, Henry Ford? They don't seem to care too much about the latest titanium frames, futuristic suspension systems, or dazzling paint jobs either, like we do here in the States. What's important about bikes to the Dutch is that they are simple and useful, not just the latest fad or status symbol. That doesn't mean that they don't admire a nice shiny new racing or mountain bike, but for getting around town and doing errands, there's nothing better than an old, anonymous Dutch bike. In fact, it seems the more simple and inexpensive the bike, the better, because they get stolen all the time. You don't want to get too attached to your ride because 1 in 5 bikes is swiped, and they are Amsterdam's most stolen item. But this doesn't stop anyone from riding, because you can pick up another used one for about $25, and you're back on the road again. Well, this sure isn't America where we worship the automobile. I've got to get back to finding this damn parking space or I'm gonna go crazy in here. It's just good to know that our systems of roads and freeways is not the only solution to our transportation problems. Sometimes the answer involves looking back to a humble two-wheeled friend that we forgot about years ago.